Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do my craft room tutorial. I am seriously on the struggle bus with trying to get this recorded, so it may be a two-parter. So I don't know, we'll see how far I get. This is the door, and I apologize, my washer's going. This is my front door into my craft room. Entrance door, I guess, it's not front door. And this is the back of the door. We'll start here. This is a shelf that my mom had, and I asked her if she would give it to me. I cut it up, and so it'd hang on the back of my door for florals. I've got, everything you'd need. Tape and wire. This I made, it's just a piece of PVC with a cap on it, and I attached it with zip ties that I put holes in the pipe. There's extra hot glue guns up there if you want to have like crafty girls night. Paper towel. There's a picture I drew. Excuse me. I made both of these shelves here, and this houses the majority of my stamps. Most of them obviously are Stampin' Up. Now, however, I was trying to save on space because I was outgrowing this shelf. If you see the spines, there's two names, stamped names in there. Here's two. A lot of these have 2 and 3 stamp sets in them. And then I just put what was on the other spine on the covers and on the back. It does make it a little more difficult to find them, but it saves a lot of space. And then, I went through and I labeled all these. Some of this was all brought about because I started the YouTube channel. Because people start asking, after a while, who did that? Whose stamps are these? Well, I didn't ever know. This basket is all old Stampin' Up! Woodblock stamps that I made clean. I purged a lot of them. Some of these I just couldn't bear to part with. So I kept them, and I did this to give me more storage. This is my incoming basket. This is my labeler, index cards, magnet sheets, storage pockets, dividers, and that kind of stuff. This is the remaining large Big Shot dies and extra large dies that I have for my Sizzix. I have purged all of them but those. My printer, and like I said, because of YouTube, got to start keeping track of who's doing what. So I have separated these by company. And then this one lonely little Lavinia stamp, you'll see why. I'll tell you in a minute why he's all by himself. And then you come over here. This is my antenna cord. I drew that picture. And this beautiful rainbow identified rolling cart here I got at Sam's for like 29 bucks. I've had it for quite some time. This top drawer holds all my bling-a-ding-ding. This is just foam core that I trimmed down, cut up to fit inside the drawer. And I labeled all these by color. This drawer is wire stuff I used a lot in scrapbooking. Got to get back to the scrapbooking before my boys graduate. Those were Creative Memories shape cutters. I can't bring myself to get rid of them. They were just too cool. I use them from time to time. I have a problem. Well, I have less of a problem now, but I had a serious issue with ribbon and fibers. And we're going to talk about that too here in a little bit. This drawer is all my embossing powders. This is like distress stuff I used a lot in scrapbooking. This is all Pearl-Ex powders. This one is glitters. Let's see, I have all kinds of glitters. They have so many new cool stuff, glitters and all this stuff coming out, but I have all this and I still use it. I'm not buying new stuff. I just can't justify the purchase. We got all kinds of different stuff in here. Microbeads, flocking is all in there. And I got a ton. Shaving cream, extra VersaFine marker pad, drywall tape for texture. Everybody should have this in their room along with that. Grommet setter. I have all kinds of cute grommets, but again, scrapbooking. This is wax seals. I use these a lot at Christmas time for envelopes. This one is quilling. Again, scrapbooking. I used to do some really cute quilling pages. They very, very time consuming, but and then towards the end, they came out with these, towards the end of my reign, electric quillers. It saved some time. And this was a quilling fringer. Made some really cool flowers. But like I said, I am going back to it. My oldest has 3 books and my youngest has a half. So I gotta be even. This is leftovers from projects. Too much to throw away. Leaves and sticks. And these are empty for you never know what I'll need. This is leftover florals. Sometimes I'll have somebody say, hey, I need boutonniere and corsage for prom. Or I did weddings for 10 years. So, you know, I still have people asking for things. And I mean, this stuff is too good to just throw away, but not enough to really do anything with. So there's that. This is little whatnots and tidbits for wood crafting, adding to stuff. Some of this I probably could throw away. But my youngest still comes in here from time to time. Mom, can I do something with you? So we'll pull out something like this and let him paint it. And he'll store change in it, or, you know. And like this is a leftover piece to a Halloween tree I made. So anyway. My next thing over here is my cubby shelf. And if you watch my channel, you would have seen the video on how I made this. So up here we have the old fat staples. I have all kinds of pretty staples for it. I don't even know if they sell those anymore. This is Fun Bills. Battery for my drill. This is my Lavinia stamps. And there's other companies in here. I'm sorry, I'm filming on my phone and I'm trying to be real careful not to touch buttons because I keep kicking off my recording. This is how I store my Lavinia stamps, because you know they all come individually pouched. And what I do is I take a piece of copy paper and I cut out the stamped acetate that comes with each stamp, flip it over and stick it to the paper, and I write the name of the stamp on the paper. Then once the page is full, I laminate it, and then the stamps will stick right to the lamination. And then I just stick them in 3-ring page protectors, and I cut the rings off of them. And that's how I store them, because I don't like all the individual packaging. So the tree is over there all by its lonesome because he doesn't have a page full of friends yet. So this is where I have my Lavinia, and this is Technique Junkies, my one, because of Stamp Wars. I seen it and I was like, oh, I have to have it. Stampscapes. I only have 3 of those. I do like them, but House Mouse. Lots of House Mouse. This is all of my stencils. I sort them by section. I don't like keeping things in their original packaging. The sticky gets in the way. They're hard to get in and out. I'm trying to come up with something better than this. I haven't got there yet. Until then, this is what it is. But this one is old stencils, you know, that come on this thick acetate or plastic. It's probably just plastic. But they're have 3-ring holes, so they're all in the binder. Down here, this is background stamps. Both of these are. This one here, this is dies. And these back here are, this is heavy, Glimmer hot foil monthly kits. I was in that for quite a while, but I found I wasn't using them anymore, so I got out. This is all my mini punch boards and the crimper. Y'all remember the crimpers? I used this thing all the time. I had several of these, but that's the only one that made it. Oh, excuse me. This one is empty for room to grow, but I'm not going to use that as an excuse to buy more crap. This one is overflow of stamps. This one here is embossing folders, which is so full. If I buy any more, I'm going to have to start a new basket. And this one is stamps. The thing about these, they are harder to find, but you can store so many in these pouches like this. So, we come over here. There's my car out in the driveway. I have great light in this room. I have 4 great big windows. I love the lighting in here. This is my vinyl cart. On top is my heat press that does vinyl and emulsion. I bought that for myself as a Christmas present, and then I actually use it to make some Christmas presents. And down there, there's my sewing machine. And in that basket, that's all the attachments for the heat press. And down here, I made this piece to go on the bottom shelf to hold the vinyl rolls. And if you look close, what's under there? It's exercise equipment. That's exactly where it belongs, right? Under the cart. And I made the shelf down there for all that vinyl because this is the first thing I bought, and of course it filled up really fast and took up too much room. So I already had this one, but I decided to figure something else out, and the shelf is what I came up with. So this here is my paper tower that my boyfriend made for me. I love it. And down here, these containers have vellum, acetate, DSP, Stampin' Up! Paper, laminating pouches, chipboard, like for gifts for baby showers and whatnot. I will make albums cover to cover. I make the binding, all of it. So when I come across chipboard, especially from extra packaging, I will put it down in there for the next time. Excuse me, I had Sprite. These that I use for the shelving that he put in there, these were those cube storage units that had the round plastic pieces that would hold them all together. I used these in my closets when the boys were little for toys. And when I took them down, I stored them in a tote and thought, oh, I'll use them some point. Well, guess what? I found a use for them. This is all my 8.5 by 11 paper. Oh, I gotta quit putting my finger in there. And these containers up here, this is a card. Actually, all those cards came from my friend Julie Freysinger in Michigan. She makes the cutest cards. This container I actually bought at a garage sale. And it had some letters in it, but I liked it so much that I just kept adding to it. You know, there's all different kinds, but I just labeled them by the letter and put them all in there. So, again, scrapbooking. When I do scrapbook, I'll have enough stuff to do all of them. I don't need to go buy anything. This was a container from my boyfriend's tackle box that he was going to throw away, and it was brand new. He didn't want it, so I sorted all my buttons that I use all the time in there. So this shelf here, I made it, but then I changed it up. I did a video on this. If you're interested, you can go back and watch that video. So I won't go through all this stuff. I've already shown this once. However, this is old Stampin' Up! Wood cases. This is what the stamps would come in. And then I got this idea from Jennifer McGuire, the cable clips with the little spoons for embossing powder. And actually, I find I don't even use the spoons. I just dip the paper down in there and tap it out. And it's really handy for the embossing powder. White, black, clear, and a iridescent. This is little foil scraps. Nancy says, keep your scraps. I do use them. Especially when I'm playing around trying to get things right. I'll use my scraps first. Crocodile. We'll do this counter first. This is kind of my foiling die cutting area right here. There's my Big Shot, my Gemini. This is all my tools that I use over here in this area. My Zutter cutter for binding, laminator. This is magnetic. I love that it's magnetic, but I wish it was a recovery too. And it's not. This is also where I take my pictures. I flip this up and I change the black and white paper out, whichever it is that I want for the bottom, and I just take it right here in this little hole. I'm trying to think of something else different for this too, because I really want something I can just set it down and take the picture. I don't have to move things around and get the lamps out. Because it takes 2 lamps to get the lighting right. There's that one down there upside down out of the way. And then this one up here. So, I mean, it works and it tucks away, but I get tired of dragging it out. This is my Gemini foil press and my mini mink. This, ladies, Harbor Freight, they have such cool crap. This is a little magnetic bowl. So when I'm over here doing dies, I can stick them in here and they won't go anywhere. This was $2.49, girls. If I had this back when, it's not been that long ago, I wouldn't have a number 1 down in my vent. I can't get that sucker out to save my life. He's so far down in there now, there's no saving him. So this is just an index with brads and clips and all kinds of stuff in there. This little shelf, I love this. I took folders and cut them up and stuck some magnet on them. Wrote on the back what it was, what company. And this one is all dies. This holds a lot of dies. And these are all hot foil stamps. Oh, and over here, if you watch my videos, you've already seen this, but some people say, oh, my favorite paper, they discontinued it, or I can't cut this paper. This is what I did with some of mine. I took the paper, cut out 2 pieces for back and front, and I sandwiched a piece of vent magnet in between there. So my infinity dies stick, and I laminated it, of course, so it'd stay together. Poked a hole in it so it'd hang on my hook. And it holds all my infinity dies. So my paper is forever. My pretty paper will always hang there so I can see it. I really, really couldn't. This is probably 5 years old. Well, who am I lying to? This is probably 15 years old, this paper. I loved it. I could never cut it. So, of course, that was one I pulled out. I know y'all got that paper. So, I'm going to back up here so you can get a view of the cabinets. All my wall cabinets came from one person, and then all the floor cabinets came from one person. I had a friend give me the floor cabinets for free. He was going to trash them. All of the ceiling cabinets came from my friend Megan. She just wanted to get them out of her garage. So I painted them, changed the handles, made some cabinet doors, and put in some shelving in some of them. And they were all free. So we'll go through these a little bit. Those are cards that I have made in the past. They are full. I've not used. This cabinet has glue, and some of this will go back out in the she shed, but it has to come in while it's freezing. And there's lots of shells in here. I'm obsessed with shells, but I do make a lot of stuff from them. I've made picture frames and lamps, and I've made all kinds of things. And then right here, this is Stampin' Scrubs for stamps. I used to have classes, so there is extra stuff in there for that. Camera, video camera. This one over here. This has, like when I do bigger wood projects, I have leftover paint. I keep that up there because I'm not going to throw it away. There's stain up there, polyurethane. There's lots of yarn up there. Quilting pieces. Crocheting. Knitting. Cross stitch. I've done it all. And I do from time to time, you know, dip into those other things. And like here, if you're a big crocheter, I made this pouch to keep all my crochet hooks in. And of course it's caught at the moment, and I'm not sure why I left that in there for whatever I was doing. But then it folds up and you got the loop to put on the button. So I thought that was I was pretty proud of myself when I made that. And then if you can look in there, I have one that holds all of my knitting needles. And of course that basket is full yarn. And this is how I store all my foils. This is just a container I got in a clearance rack for like $2.99. So it works out well for that. And then, let's see, the bottom cabinets, we'll start over here. Try not to make you throw up by moving around too much. This top drawer holds tools and hooks and nails, my glue sticks, extra cords. This is a stick of beeswax. Since these are older cabinets, there's like a track in the middle, and then the outsides are wood to wood. So when they got to squeaking, you just take this beeswax and rub it all up and down the wood, and it kills the squeak. So, and you know, my favorite tool right there. Ugh, I hate to dust. So that's what's in there. Down here, this holds my mini paper pads, 6x6 envelopes, can o' air. Hate to dust. I do anything I can to get out of it. This is extra glue and whatnot in there. There's my laser printer, which needs an extension put in for plug-in because I moved it since I did the new cubby shelf. That accordion thing is just full of pretty paper. This drawer, everybody has this drawer. This is, you know, tape refills, extra dimensionals. Here's binding for my Zutter cutter. You know, I used one. What do you know? Everybody's got this drawer. Refills and all that good stuff. You know, I find sales. I got that on clearance. Why it was in the clearance rack, I don't know, but I was going to buy it even though I didn't need it yet. That is my boyfriend's drawer. It's a hot mess. Okay, here we go with the ribbon, girls. This is all the big spools that don't fit up on the rack. And before I did that rack was full. So, with that being said, if any of y'all want some ribbon, I'm going to be purging some more ribbon. Let me know. Go to my Craft Corner Facebook page. It's just called the Craft Corner. And send me a private message and we will get together and I will send you some free ribbon because I just can't throw it away. I'd rather give it to somebody who's going to use it. This drawer is absolutely chock full of jewelry supplies. I mean, it is full. Full of beads, and I think I'm going to be selling all this. So, if you're into jewelry making, let me know, because I don't really do it anymore. It was really fun for a while, but it's not something I know I'll go back to. Alright, this wall, this came from over here. My son made that for me. He was so proud of himself. He's not artistically inclined, so he was very proud of himself how well that turned out. So this is all my punches. This board I made, it is just boards and towel racks. That's all it is. But it serves its purpose. my raffia little heater. That my youngest made for me a couple weeks ago. He was so proud of himself. I just love it. I love my kids' artwork. Here's a couple other windows, the other two. And these curtains I made. I love that fabric. Sewing is not my favorite thing to do, but I can sew. This right here, it's just like a little mail organizer thing. These are the little hot dudes for the foil press, which I love these. This is pre-cut bases. I'm at a loss for words. This is, what are these? You know what these are. The plates. They're plates. And the shims and all that for the Gemini and the Big Shot. And these are where I keep my things for my mini mink and my watercolor board that I use. Down here, that is my spray box. This is just notepad stuff, mouse. Again, scrapbooking. I used to use these all the time on scrapbook pages. And what do you know? Another drawer. This is like when I get to the end of the spool and there was no point in keeping the spool because there's too much but not enough to keep spool. That's that drawer. And again, there's another one. You see, ladies, I gotta get rid of this stuff. And here's more ribbon. So, like I said, go to the Craft Corner page. Leave me a note. Now, this desk, I'll back up here a little bit. I made the desk. Ooh, I gotta get way back. It's really big. It is, right now, 6 foot long with a 4 foot extension. Wait, that's a 3 foot extension, sorry. So, what I did is this section will swing up and there is a slide under here that pulls out to support this. So I end up with 9 foot of table space. It's fabulous when you have people over. And I got extra stools stashed under there. I love, love, love my table. This, I made this little drawer here to hold this. This, again, is extras. You know, double-sided adhesive, refills for the toner, and foam. Now this right here, I just, before it started warming up, I had a lot of this stuff set up on the table and was taking up room. I was constantly moving it, so I was trying to find a way of storing it better where it was still, you know, where I could access it easy, but it would have its own home. So I made this wood box, and I had my boyfriend make metal brackets so I could add to this. So all I have to do is lift this up and take it off and set it off to the side if I want to pull my table extension up. And this is, you know, my We Are Memory Keepers hole punch. I love this thing. I had, I don't know how many sizes, and I got rid of all of them because they're all in this one tool. My paper trimmer, my Stampin' Scrub. This is just a bottle of water, my drawing pencils, my bigger, most used scissors, and then all of my remote controls. So here's the teal mat that you always see when I record. And right to my right, this is a Pampered Chef, what do they call this? I called it a gadget go-round. Tool turnabout. This was in my kitchen with utensils in it, and I was trying to get all the stuff off my countertop, so I went to putting those in the drawers, so it left this empty. And I decided to bring it in here, and I have my soft tools and scissors. Anything that you would have right, you know, you'd want right at your fingertips is in here. So that's very handy. That's my diffuser with my palm trees. Always thinking of the beach. I have Young Living Joy in it. I love, love, love that oil. So this is one of those as seen on TV. I think they advertise it for makeup. I got this at a little store, Midwest Markdowns in Covington. They had a great price on it. I really don't remember what it was. I think it was $8 I got it for. So this holds, you know, all that other at the tip of your finger, you know, stuff that you want. Cleaners and glues and all that stuff. And then I keep my VersaFine Clears up here. My brush cleaner. Spray bottle. And then you come down here. This I just added on this winter because I got tired of knocking the heat tool off the table. So I used, this is like a pipe hanger, a piece of pipe, and a coupler, which works out absolutely perfect because that coupler decreaser has a hole, and it creates that lip in there that holds the heat tool without the hot part actually touching anything. So there's an idea for you, ladies. Really saves a lot of space. I got this at a garage sale for like $5 way back in the day. I love it. And this is stuff that was attached. I, you know, added on to my table. This down here is my paper, my light table, my acrylic blocks, my score buddy. And this is I just added, when I added the holder for the heat tool, I cut this out of my table, which hasn't been sanded, or none of that's been done yet because I gotta wait till I can get the windows open to do that. Adhesives, erasers, you know, things you grab for the most is in that one. This one is adhesive and in the dimensionals. And down here, my keyboard and my wipies are down there. My trash can. So we will come over here now. This I made out of 2x4s and some more of those cube dudes. 2 pieces in there to hold all the acrylic paints. My paint brushes. I keep a bottle of water in here because I tend to wander off and start cleaning if I leave the room. These little guys I got at Menards for like $1.79 or $89 a piece. I love these for this. And they all interlock on the sides and top, and so you can put as many of them together as you want. I just put those up there a couple weeks ago. I love them. Here's some more paint. This is my cordless hot glue gun. I keep my silicone mat under there. I love this. Ladies, if you do hot glue work, cordless is the way to go. I love that thing. Now, I know this looks a little goofy. This, I couldn't put the base cabinets clear into the corners on either side of the room because of the registers. So once I had been in here a little bit, I realized, hey, that's space I'm missing. I need that table space. So I put in some pieces and made it work. My brother's scan and cut up here. This I just did not too long ago. It's just a piece of 1x4 that I put some other pieces on to stair step it to put all my distress oxides. That's all my bowls and palettes for painting, and that holds like sponges and brushes and extra stuff. Another index with all kinds of little things you store. My soft tools, cotton balls, Q-tips. There's my weeding tools for my scan and cut. These are all my Arteza watercolors. There's my glass mat. Now, this is all my inks. I'll step back so you can get the full picture here. This unit here and this unit here is from Stampin' Storage. These are really nice. They're made out of birch. They're heavy. They can sit on the table. They can hang. But they are expensive. But once I bought this unit, then it gave me the pattern to make my own. So this unit down here, this is all one unit right there. And it housed all the extra inks that wouldn't fit in the top one. Now this little piece over here, I made that to attach because it is the refill ink and the matching marker to the Stampin' Spots. When I first started scrapbooking, I bought the spots because, you know, they were cheaper. A little antique knob I put on there. So, Stampin' Up! Ink, use what you have. I have all these. Now, I watch lots of tutorials. Most people have hundreds of ink pads, but yeah, I'm not there. I want to use what I have. Now, I have bought a few more, like Rena K's neons. Nobody had neons, people. I love them. This up here is Arteza fine liners. It's all my alcohol markers. I like to color. Alcohol markers are challenging for me, but I do have a few to mess with. I have my Posco markers down here, my Uniballs that I love, jelly glitters. Those are calligraphy, which I always hope to do. I never caught on to the calligraphy. This is the Tailored Expressions brushes, which I have recently cleaned. I've not used them yet. I will be today. They're going to be getting mucked up. I love these brushes. If you've watched my videos, you know I love these brushes. However, the thing I don't love about these brushes is not about the brushes, the little carousel. This sucker falls apart every chance it gets. If you take out too many brushes, this thing falls apart and it would drive me crazy. So, look at that. She don't fall apart no more because I super glued that sucker together. There's your fix, girls. So, this is my Inkadink-a-Doo. And they don't sell these anymore. And I love, love, love them. Use the cogs and you can make all kinds of... It's kind of like the old version of Gina K's Wreath Builder. And this is all my alcohol inks. This is extra pens. I've got metallics and colored microns. This is the Stampin' Up! Writing markers that I don't have ink pads for. Sponge daubers. This is something I don't see in very many people's videos. Chalks. You remember these? I loved these. These were precious supplies for me. I didn't ever want to hardly use them because I was afraid I'd use them all. And, you know, then I started using them more because I realized that I ain't never going to use them all. And now, you can't even find those. Of course, we have pastels now. I love them. And this is gelatos. I'm not in love with gelatos. So, let's see. We'll do these. I've only got a couple minutes left, and I'm going to get cut off. So, whatever is left, we will do a part 2. This top drawer... I made this little divider to put my Distress Oxides in. And I have refills back there, which I have lots of refills. I haven't purchased those yet. That paint back there, I bought that for a specific project, and then I never used it again. So it kind of made its way to the back of this drawer. This is my Catherine Poolers. And I had the 3-ring binders full of stickers. I had 2 of them that were overflowing. I purged, and this is what's left. I'm never buying another sticker as long as I live. So, the next drawer, that's school supplies, and the bottom 2 are fabric. So that is all the time I have for this video. So, catch me on part 2 of my tutorial.